Welcome to the Tossed Hat channel. I'm just going to briefly give you an intro and explain this week's video. My client came to me and she said, Rita, she showed me a picture of Lady Danbury, a character on Bridgerton, the Bridgerton series on Netflix. And I like this character too. Do you like Lady Danbury? I like her a lot. Very classy character. And she said, This hat, I love it. Can you do it? And as you know, I am a new designer. I've been doing this, I guess officially it'll be a year in August, so less than a year. So while I'm building up my skills and my materials and my knowledge of hat making, there are just some shapes out there that I do not have the blocks for. So, or I can't manipulate, say, an open crown hat to be what it is that I need. So, in this case, the hat that she showed me is really a top hat, but a feminine top hat for ladies, if you will. I said to her, I don't have the means to make this hat, but I can find this hat for you. I can find it in your head size measurements, and I can dress it for you similar to what you see in the picture. Whenever a client shows me a picture, I always say I like to use their photos as a vision, like a vision board or an inspiration. Um, and I never tried to say, look, I'm gonna do it exactly like that. There's no way unless you go to the original designer. So, um, so she said, yeah, fine, great, let's do it. So I ordered the hat. It came from Spain. We ordered it in ivory. It came basically in all ivory, grosgrain ribbon, and so she really wanted the satin pink sash and the red feather. So I said we can dress that for you. So the first video, so when the hat came, I felt like it was too, maybe, yeah, I felt like it was too small. I was going to say maybe a half an inch, but I feel like it was an inch too small when it came. So, because she has curly hair as well. So, the first part of the video, you'll see me stretching the hat and using, hatter's tools. And then the other videos, you will see me dressing the hat or looking for dressing for the hat to customize it the way that she likes. So let me know in the end if you feel like we came close to her inspiration. All right, enjoy, guys. See you next week. Okay, so today we're going to enlarge this hat. It is a size 22. How do I know? I measured it, and plus I have a mannequin head that is a size 22 inches, and it fits comfortably. I want it to fit comfortably on a size 23-inch head. So if you notice here, it just sits on top. It is a top hat, but I still want it to kind of fit around the roundness of the head, and it doesn't. So we're going to use this stretcher. It's a manual stretcher. It's not electric. It doesn't heat up like some of the others do that are the same type of hat stretcher. So we are going to steam the inside of this hat, and then we're going to put it on top of the stretcher and leave it for overnight. So let's steam it. Okay, so we are going to lightly steam the inside of this hat, but not too much because I don't want to change its shape too much, okay? Okay, so we got this stretcher. Y'all see it? Vintage stretcher. Probably dates back to the early 1900s. And we steamed our hat on the inside brim, not too much. You don't want to mess with the shape too much. You just want to soften the material. And now we're going to scale this back. scale this back before we take it off. And we want to see, we know it was already a 22. So it's going to fit on the 22 size mannequin very well. The key is, will it fit on the 23? And we need it to fit on the 23 around the widest part of the head. So I'm going to find, this is the back of the hat. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Look at that. Fits. Snug. Well, actually, yeah. It's good. Look at that, yeah, guys. And if I want to do it a little more, I can. But what I'm going to do first is fit it on my client first. And if it's too tight for her, or if it's creating a crease on her forehead or anything like that, we'll enlarge it. You can always go larger. You can't, once you've gone larger, you stretch the hat, you can't shrink it. So take your time with it. If you're doing it for one of your customers, try it on them before you stretch it some more. But you can see where it stretched it. You see there? Yeah. But the ribbon that I put on is going to cover that up for sure. All right, guys. We just stretched a hat, at least by a good inch. And it still has its shape. Looking good. Well, welcome, guys. We are going to dye some feathers today. What fun! And, you know, I bought this feather. I'm going to put it on an ivory hat. I wanted it to be more burgundy. It's more of a pinkish red, if you will. And I got it from Amazon. I don't believe it's a real feather. I'm not convinced. But I know it's a natural fiber just by the way it feels. And this is a real feather. Near me, there's a bunch of geese that hang out. And I just want to tell you, these geese are gangsta. I'll explain later. Anyway, no geese were harmed. Birds were harmed in collecting these feathers. They were readily all over the grass. So I picked up a few and I want to see if it's dyeable. Of course, it's already a dark brown, so it's not going to show too bright the red, but I just want to see if they're dyeable. So we're going to use the Procyon MX dye in burgundy, and it's a cold water dye. It's for natural fibers. You can also use it for feathers. So we're just going to take, this is hot, or I should say not hot water, it's warm water. And we're going to take 1 tablespoon here of burgundy. Okay. Put this in here. Ooh, that already looks good. I tell you, as soon as it hits the water, I can already tell how things are going to be. Okay, because burgundy and maroon, I feel, have more of a red, brownish red to them. I just didn't want my feathers to have that pink tone to them. Yeah, I can already tell. That's going to be pretty. So I'm going to dip my feathers in here. They almost disappear. I hope they're going to be all right. Wow, that almost disappears. I'm going to dye about 4 of them. And we're going to let this sit for about 15 minutes, let it soak up. And I'm going to put my regular feathers in here. I guess not my regular feathers, my geese feathers. I don't know how they're going to do. I may have to hold those in because I don't think my bin. Wow. I can tell, I don't think these geese feathers are going to take because there's a color the dye rolls right off of them. It rolls right off of them. Well, it explains why their feathers are waterproof, right? The real feathers. Interesting. Okay, it's all an experiment. I'm gonna set my timer for 15 minutes and we're gonna let these burgundy feathers dye. I can already tell they're gonna be much deeper than what before they were pre-dipped. Okay, and then when we come back, what we're going to do is we are going to add a little soda ash to them. That's going to allow it to permeate. I've put my soda ash in a separate container. And then later we're going to add some salt. Okay, and the salt is supposed to help it get a little bit deeper. I don't know if these geese feathers, I see a little tint to them, but not much. All right, I'll see you in 15. Hi guys, so I will show you later. It didn't take. So that tells me that the feather I have isn't a real feather, a real bird feather. And whenever your natural fiber dye, like the Procyon MX dye that we use, does not work, it just means that it's not a natural fiber, it's synthetic fiber. So the feather I have is synthetic. It did not take at all, guys, at all. So we are at Michael's Arts and Crafts. I'm going to look for a burgundy feather or maybe look for some fabric paint and some sealant that I can spray paint the feather. Yeah, I'm taking this one in with me. We're not going to have any heat exhaustion in the car. So he's going into Michael's with me, and I'm glad they let me bring him. So let's go. Guys, once I was in Michael's, we did not find the spray fabric. They only had 2 colors. All right, guys, we stuck with the original feather, the original color after all of that. But you know what? Sometimes that's what it takes. I put the rose up to it. It was just too much. Let me show you. Hold on. And of course I would have cut the rose, but it was too much. You know what I mean? Also, I felt like even though I cut this as well, oops, sorry, this was also too much. I cut it and made it smaller, but it didn't stand out enough. So this was the winner in my eyes. See, this goes too much with the pink satin band. So that's how it be sometimes, you know? You'll have visions of what you want something to look like, and then it just doesn't go your way, and you're like, forget it, I'm just gonna do it the way it started out to be. So I hope she likes it. You know, I basically dressed and garnished the hat. I did not make it. I did not have this hat block, but it was fun dressing it up, making it look closer to the picture that she wanted, the Bridgerton inspiration hat. And I hope she really likes it. And I'm gonna take a picture of her in it and yeah, and show you guys. So this video is full circle. But I ordered the hat for her in her head size. I actually ordered it about a 1/2 inch smaller because a top hat you don't really want to fit like it would a fedora right above the ears. You want it to sit up a little bit higher and still be comfortable. And I think a 1/2 inch smaller for her head size will do just that. It'll look like a top hat. It won't droop down too much. Um, and she'll be ready for her Bridgerton ball. The veil is completely removable in case she decides, she doesn't want to wear a veil and maybe she has a different outfit and it might be too much or whatever the case. Feather is also removable. She can put whatever feather she likes in there. And the sash is easily replaceable. So all the garnishing that I did on this hat, it'll be easy to redress it for her in the future if she so desires. But this was a really fun project being a hat designer for one of my beloved clients. All right, guys, have a great one, and I'll see you soon. Bye. This is a vintage box in which I gifted to my client, and the reveal, here she is. Tell me what you think, guys.